Hello, people. You can hear me okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. Welcome back to another bonus class. All right. Um, don't worry. Next week is the week. Right? Right, guys. Next week is the week, right?
I don't think so, sir.
You don't think so? Oh man. So, um, all right. Tell you what then. For the last two classes, I just said, "Oh, we're not having class today." I just remember, and then we suddenly had class. So I will believe you and look forward to class next week. And then, as fate would have it, next week you're actually going to go. And then we will have class. You understand? Sometimes you say you have to trick fate, so that you do what you want it to do. Right? Anyway, let's see. Um, how far are you guys in studio, by the way? How much assignments do you have for your studio this time around? Guys?
Sir, we have a current project the design is from oral health.
All right. Yeah, that one is still happening.
And the study tour document as well that we need to prepare.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool. Cool. I see you. All right. Well, one of our final project is going to be based on your studio project. So, I'm going to be trying to be in sync with what's happening in Design Studio, so that we can work that out. So by the time you're ready for Design Studio, or by the time it's coming before end of semester, whatever we will do for our final project will tie into Studio. The idea is so that you do less work overall, and whatever you're doing in computing you can use in Design Studio, and whatever you do in Design Studio you can use in computing. So that means that no double work. All right. So yeah, I'll be asking you how Studio is going and what's happening. I mean, I'll talk to Andre as well to find out from him directly. But just to kind of gauge how things are going, so we can do our final project. All right. So today is our last day on this topic of architectural information graphics, right? And as fate would have it, when you come back from study tour, we're going to move into a new topic, right? Which will be architectural cinematography, right? That is where we're going to touch the cameras a little bit and learn a little bit more about cinematography from a physical perspective, meaning actually going out there with a camera, and from a digital perspective, that is like manipulating the cameras in Twinmotion and all the digital programs. All right. But until we're there, let us jump into what we want to do today. So today it's going to be a working class, and as usual, after we issue every assignment, I try to have a working class so that we can kind of explore the assignment a little bit, and hopefully can get our minds in the right frame of mind to kind of do the assignment. We usually explore the programs a little bit as well, so we're going to explore a little bit of the 3D files today. All right, so let me bring that up. Has anybody taken a look on those 3D files, by the way?
Yes, sir.
Right, here we go. So this is what we did last week, right? Everybody selected their destiny, right? So everybody selected their topics, and then we revealed the topics, what they are for the infographics. So we are supposed to be moving away from assignment 1 and moving towards assignment 2, right? Today was the new deadline for assignment 1, right? So no need to discuss the first one. We're just going to stick to the second one, right? All right, so you are given these buildings and you can choose any building that you want. You are going to use this building again in further assignments. So, keep your hands on it. All right. Remember, you can always download back the file here. So this building is originally created in 3ds Max. That is the source file, but it was exported in these different formats, right? Now to access the formats, when you go on the mirror board, all you need to do is to click the you just click on this guy here, and then you will see this little window pop up. And then you just click that little diagonal up arrow that you see right there, right? Let me get my pen. Where are you? Where are you? Here. Yeah. Right. And that is how you open these files, right? Okay. Right. So now these files are stored in Google Drive, right? And it's a little similar to what we did last semester, but we just have less files working with. My recommendation for you guys will be SketchUp. You can use any program you want, but I think this is going to be the best format, right? I try as much as possible to prepare the model for you. By the way, you can use any program you want. There's no requirement on the program, right? Anybody here use 3D Studio Max? Anybody? No? Going once, going twice? Nobody? Blender? Any Blender users in the house? No Blender users? All right, cool. So I figure most persons here use SketchUp anyway. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. Well, that makes life even easier, right? Okay, so take a look at some of these models, right? So click the little arrow there, it will open in Google, and then you hit the download button. All right. Everybody should have access to, oops, I downloaded it twice. Everybody should have access to these files. Here we go. File open. All right, let's look on the desktop. No, it's in downloads actually. There we go. All right. So this is what the file looks like. Some of you might get a message because it's open. It's from an earlier SketchUp. Right? Pretty decent model. Everything is pretty straightforward. Most of them have furniture on the inside, basic furniture. Some of them have a little site that's going on for it. But this is essentially what they look like. All right. Now, right. So what we're going to try and do today is we're going to take a look on, I just call it tips on how we can tackle this assignment, right? This should not be new to anybody here, but just in case, is there anybody here that did not get to select an infographic to create?
Yes, sir. I didn't select.
All right, cool. So Lee, what will happen for you is, anybody else? Nope, just one? Okay, cool. Okay, 1 second. All right. So what will happen for you is we're gonna randomly select your infographics, Lee, right? That was the deal that we signed at the beginning of the assignment, right? Which I think is fair because pretty much it was kind of random to begin with because nobody knew what the symbols were, right? But now we know. All right, so holy. All right, eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Which one should we give Lee now? I'm gonna pick that one and that one. All right, Lee. What building do you want?
I'll take the beach house, sir.
The beach house. Hold on. Which one of these is a beach house? Oh, this one. Okay. All right, Lee. This is you. Cool. All right. Okay. So, to for those of you who might be thinking about starting this assignment now, maybe you're thinking, okay, where do I start? Right? Well, firstly, I post this so that you guys can remember where you actually start. The first thing is to remember what an architectural infographic is, right? So it is just a party diagram and data overlaid. That is usually the winning formula to get an architectural infographics, right? And we know what a party diagram is, and one word that is synonymous with party diagram is simplification, right? So it's all about making things simple, right? And of course, we looked at some examples that we did last week. So to give you guys an idea of where we start from, well, I'm gonna just make up a question for myself, right? Because obviously in the past year, I used to do one of these as an example, but that wouldn't be fair to the other people, right? Because I'll be giving away ideas, right? Right? And what I also used to do is say, okay, I pick one, but any style that I create, nobody can use it. And if you use it, there'll be -2 marks, right? And some persons still use my style, you know? So this time around, I figured I'd just make up a question. So that way it's fair all across the board, right? So, okay, so let's make something up. Okay. Da-da-da-da. Hey, what happened to the rest of your classmates, guys? Is there a deadline today I don't know about? By any chance? You have something studio due? Anybody?
Sure, we're there, as well.
Oh, okay. Well, oh man. I was hoping the semester would reach a little further before the class numbers started to dwindle. Anyway, okay. So let's put a little topic here and let's call this example. Example question, right? And let's duplicate that. Let's take off that. All right, so 70%. There we go. 70% of the users of this building use this entrance between the hours of crap. Now it's getting kind of similar to one of them. But
Yeah,
anyway.
yeah, I was just about to say that, sir.
In the summertime, right?
Still I disagree, no, sir. Cause yeah,
It doesn't matter, guys.
yeah,
It
it
really
really
doesn't
doesn't matter.
So, between the hours of who here got question 1 and 70%? Well, everything in these questions have percentages, so it doesn't really matter. So, between the hours of the 11 a.m. and 4 p.m. There we go. Okay, fine. It's kind of similar to question 1, but it's all right. My thing probably won't be that creative anyway. You guys will come up with your own ideas, and nobody will think about doing anything similar to this
twice.
example. What are you saying?
You have between twice.
Oh, right. Thank you. So 70% of the users of this building use this entrance between the hours of 11 and 4 p.m. 11 a.m. and 4 p.m. Right. I just want to use a simple example here because most of these are kind of layered, So, all right. So I'm going to take this building. So let me download it. Download building. There we go. I need to disable Copilot. Copilot is always getting in the way. All right, good. Oh no, sorry, this not this building. Let's use. Okay, here we go. All right, this building, right? And I'm using SketchUp. I just put my icons off the screen, right, so that it can be nice and big. All right. Okay. So where do we start when we're making an architectural infographic? Well, we know that it is a party diagram and information. So let's look at some of the information we have working with, right? So, okay. So we have a percentage here. Percentages are great. We know already for pie charts or bar charts, But we have a percentage, and the users of this building use this entrance. So this entrance needs, in this case, we're just gonna kind of make it up, because whenever you see the word this, you can select any place on the model that you're given. All right. Okay, between the hours of 11 and 4. So there is a time factor here as well. Well, now traditionally, the recommended path for creating an infographic, let's see. So we said that you gather your information, select the type of diagram you want to use, then you look for visual opportunities, you know. So for example, if it's a pie chart, then it can be a globe or it can be a plate, you know what I mean. You look for opportunities to use the graphics, and then you look for a theme if you're not going to make up your own, and then search for your resources, you know, icons and models or whatever you need to create that infographic. Right now we can use the same path, but because we're doing architectural infographics, there is one more step, I guess we could say, and that is the fact that we're not we are going to be using the party diagram in some way. And the party diagram can be, remember, a party diagram doesn't have to be a 3D massing of the building. If you remember, when we talk about party diagrams, it can be form based, and that's perhaps the most popular one, especially in architecture. So, you know, we break down the thing to a form, but it can actually be flow based, where it's more like a bubble diagram, flow chart. It can be like an arrow going from A to B. That can be, so it's not necessarily the form of the building, but it could just be you saying step 1, step 2, or so forth. And next, it can be, I would say, illustrative. They said dimension based here, but illustrative mean like it's not based on a shape. It's based on like numbers or charts or things like that, right? So think of it as more like two-dimensional, right? So usually it can form in any one of these. Now, most of us perhaps is going to be form-based. And of course, if it's form-based, it's usually simplified, right? So we need to determine what kind of party diagram we're going to use, right? And this is where the architectural part of your brain starts to kick in, because if I look on this diagram here, you know, I mean, maybe what I said could be best used as a section. And if that is the case, then I can always use SketchUp and here, and I can just cut a quick section, and then I can go to the orthographic view, and where is my, remember, my icons are not on screen, guys, so I'm not controlling SketchUp with my mind, even though it looks that way. You know, I mean, this can be a party diagram. Maybe I don't need this couch and all these details here and the, you know, the window frame, but it can be two-dimensional, right? Right? It can be, it can even be like, it doesn't have to do with the building itself. So for example, to show you what I mean, let's put this back to perspective, and yeah, let's take this off. Right, so, you know, maybe it could be where this is the building, because all you really need is a representation of the building. So maybe you're saying that, okay, that side and this side here, and maybe I could grab a letter, so let me put N, oops, let me put north. This is text here, and let's scale it. What's the shortcut for scale again in SketchUp? Is it S? Yeah. Okay. Right. And oh, forget you can't edit that text. Let's do another letter and call this south. No, let's call it east. East. Drop that there and scale that up. Right. All right. Let me just turn this to black and white just to. Okay, right. So this is a diagram, and it's saying that the north entrance is, 70% of the persons use the north entrance, and whatever 30% use this entrance. This has nothing to do with the building at all. This is just simply a diagram that tells you that one entrance is on the north and one entrance is on the east. So this would be, and maybe it's a plan or whatever, but so I'm just doing this to say that it doesn't have to be form-based where you have to show a shape of the building and exactly where the door is, because the statement that I'm trying to execute here, it just says 70% of the buildings use this entrance. So sometimes you may not want to show the building and exactly where that door is, because sometimes it don't matter. Like maybe you only want to communicate that the north entrance is used mainly, and the shape of the building don't really matter. What really matters is that it's the north end of the building, right? Anyway, it could also be a 2D diagram as well, with just a box. Nevertheless, most of us will use the building itself to generate whatever idea you're going to show. And if you're at the starting point, I would say the starting point is not necessarily jumping in this 3D environment, but rather jotting down your ideas. So get my pen here. So we have red, use gray, use not so thick. Okay, cool, that's good. All right. So we have 70%, right? Uses this, wherever this is, entrance, and then we have the 30% that uses whatever other entrance is there, right? Then we also have a time between, what was it again? 11 to 4, I think. 11 to 4 p.m. So this is the information we need to show. Now, this is where, you would jot your ideas. Like, how would you show this? I mean, one idea could be that we have a plan of the building, right? So let's say we have a plan. Well, in this case, I'm just going to represent like that, and I'm just going to represent it as a box. And it could be that we say, maybe we have, I don't know, something right here, hatch, and then we say 70%. I don't know, 11 to 4 p.m. And it could be informational, right? All right, hold on. Let's carry this here. So this is me kind of just brainstorming what the layout would be. Now, we don't know the graphics yet. We don't know what programs we're using. We're just trying to determine, what's the best way. 70% people use. Let me just put entrance. All right, are you guys seeing my screen okay, by the way, guys? Are you seeing this horrible handwriting?
Sir.
Yeah. All right. Come on. All right. And then we can say maybe 30%. People. And then maybe this is front. I don't know, door. And rear door. Right. And this is the infographic. Maybe this one here has a blue color. Maybe this has a blue color and maybe this has a blue text. To kind of match the fact that is the blue side and then this has a red side as well. That could be it. This process that I'm doing is for the, everybody should have like a sketchbook, something that you can doodle on, jot down ideas. So this is kind of where you begin when you're doing the architectural infographic, because don't start with the model. The model is super detailed. Some of you maybe don't even need the model, because in this case it's just a representation with two arrows. It's just and it's just informational, so it's not form based. This is just a symbol, and the symbol represents the building. Now for you guys, the assignment states that you have to use the model, right, in some way, shape or form. So this one couldn't exactly fly because the model is not a box, but you can imagine that maybe this is a silhouette of the model. So maybe let me erase this. Go back here. Maybe I think let's use a thick here. Right. I think the building have a weird kind of shape like that. Kind of like that. There we go. Right. So in this case, what do you guys think of this idea? Can work? Too simple?
It can work. Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to select all of these guys here and put this over here, and I'm going to say, come on. Yeah, this is idea one. Why does Copilot keep opening? Yeah. All right. So we're going to call this idea one, right? Now, the rest of the rules still applies. This doesn't tell you what the graphics look like, what fonts, what colors. This only kind of lays out for you a concept of how you would want the infographic to be. We use a planned silhouette of the building. We're going to have some text on the left and some text on the right. The text on the right will have a color that matches that entrance looking door, and the text on the left will have a different color. And let's just say that's the idea. Then you take the other regular path that we do for the infographic. Now we look for samples for that idea now, and themes. So I mean, you guys, if you guys go to your favorite Pinterest, you can look around for architectural infographics. Maybe a good place to start would be like it could be design studio presentation board. Maybe, yeah, I don't know, maybe maybe not. Oh, it's because I'm not signed in. That's why. Okay. Yeah. So it's, of course, when you know it, if you're using Pinterest a lot, you know that it tracks based on the stuff that you search for. So you most likely will get those kind of results. So of course, if I type in architectural infographics, I will get, you know, things closer to what I want because I'm usually looking for this stuff, right? So, you know, you can look around here, or you can use the other sites that I recommend, like the Visme and that stuff, but those are good for straight up infographics. The architectural infographic, because it uses something that has to do with your building and architecture and a party diagram. Those are a little bit too graphical, right? But if I was looking for something now, I would be looking for something that's more planometric. So I wouldn't be looking for, and remember, this is just to get an idea of the colors, the font, that kind of stuff that I would be using. Let me see if I can get lucky here to get an idea of what I would find. And remember, this, you already have your idea, you know, so I'm not looking through this for the idea for the infographic. I'm looking for the idea for the colors and the fonts and just an idea of what color scheme that I would probably use as well. This one is not bad. Maybe I want to find something that's a little closer to what I am doing, something with a simple plan. This is more isometric though. Not really going for the isometric. I kind of going for the simplistic plan kind of view, like, but this is plan sketch, so maybe not this, but I may be getting closer to what I want. Let's see. Okay, this is kind of, so you know, you might, you know, I'm saying this is kind of close to the kind of style that I want to pick, something simple colored, things like that. And see, I'm getting all kinds of examples of that now. So I know that I'm not going for a hand sketch, or maybe hand sketch could be the look that I would want, but I don't know. I'm kind of playing this by ear, guys. So it's not as if I know what to look for, but you know, this looks interesting. Maybe the colors and that look interesting. Yeah, like maybe I would look on this one, and because I think maybe this kind of gray dash line, thick line is the look that I'm going for. So I will just pick this out and just stick this here as a reference, like that, right? All right. So remember, guys, I'm doing the same steps that we did before, right? If you remember back a couple classes ago, right? So we, in this case, this step where we select the diagram to use, you know, is, you know, we're using the party diagram. So we know that we're using a planometric kind of a thing. Look for visual opportunities. You know, in that sketch, we determine that, you know, we're going to use a blue door here, red door here, or make the text be in that color. And then for the theme, we kind of found something a while ago. Now it's time to find the resources. So what kind of resources do we need? Well, how can we get a simple plan outline of this? Well, you can get it from the model, that's for sure, right? It's so simple that you could maybe just draw it or trace it, right? This is where you start to consider what software you're going to use as well. So if I want to get this color, then when I go into Photoshop or Illustrator, I would just pick this color. These interesting dash lines, like I like these nice thick kind of horizontal lines. Maybe I can use this to represent the doors, or maybe I can use this to represent the arrows, you know, but I'm basically taking ideas from this. I'm not going to start the production of this yet. I want to just do the ideation thing again, just to kind of hopefully so that you get an idea of how the ideation works. So this is idea one. So I'm going to just imagine that I didn't come up with that idea and start again, right? So let's go with idea two. All right, for this one, let's use the most popular thing that most persons would use, and it's going to be form based. So it's going to be like a massing of the building, right? So okay, well, I'm not gonna sketch the whole building here. I'm just gonna represent it with, I don't know, a weird kind of shape that's maybe not as accurate to the building, but let's say that this is my building that does something like this. I think it has a part that kind of sticks out like this. I don't know, something like that, right? And it has another part that kind of stick out like this. What do you think? Can pass?
Ish. Can go on, sir.
All right, cool. Now, let's say in this case now. Yes. Okay. All right, so in this case, let's see. Let's look back at what we have here. So 70% of persons use this entrance. So let's imagine that the entrance was here. So this is going to be like a massing. So this is just going to be like no windows, no door, maybe. Yeah, no windows, no door. But maybe here, I will just put this giant opening here, right? And this is really exaggerated because, you know, maybe it's a little door or something, but I just want to highlight that, you know, this is the entrance here, right? And then I'll put another giant opening here. So in this case, I'm kind of just I'm using the model, but I'm using it in a kind of a diagram simplistic format. You know what I mean? Like, imagine if you had to build an architectural model to illustrate your idea. You know, usually you're building a concept model. You're not building every window and every door. You're kind of just simplifying it and just, in some cases, exaggerating the point that you want to show, right? So, yeah, let's see now. So maybe I can have this, I don't know, this arrow.
Oh God,
know?
sir. Stop giving out all the good ideas.
What?
I'm just watching them and I'm like, is the 2 marks, you know, it would have taken off even worth it, cause if you're giving
No,
out all
I'm
the
not.
good
That's what I did last. I threatened that last year. And to be honest, nobody took my exact idea. You know, I see some of them that look familiar, but you know, I kind of forgot about it. So I'm not going to minus any marks for you know, use whatever idea. You know, I trust that like I'm just making stuff up. I know you will remix it in your own way. Right? Everybody has something to highlight. It could be an entrance, it could be a room, it could be a facade. So you have to kind of just imagine that what I'm doing here can be applied to your building, right? Anyway, so maybe I put this giant arrow there, and this is 70, and it's a big arrow, so it's, you know, but maybe here it's a much smaller arrow, right? Because this is 30, right? So like that is like 30, right? I'm not sure with the time now. Maybe I can do like a little, maybe a little flag edit. So it's something like this, and say, it's 10 a.m. or it's 11 a.m. It's 11, right? Anyway, 10 a.m. Yeah. So maybe it's a little dot. You know, it just kind of highlight that. You know. Yeah. Maybe also, I'm sorry guys, I'm just like brainstorming here. Maybe this is just a simple white model, and I want to just highlight that. Well, this is blue, so maybe I can make like all of this text here blue because it matches this entrance here. So maybe this is also blue. You know, that is blue to match that there. And then on the other side, maybe that is like green or something. And then this is also green. You know, so you can clearly see that there's an arrow here. This says 30% of people use this, 70% use that, and they use that 10 a.m. You know. Now again, if this is idea 2 here, you know, we don't know what what the colors will be like. We don't want to choose 2 different colors. It don't have to be green and blue. But we know that we want to do like a massing of the building and put a color here. So now we need to look for, we do the same thing again. Let's find a reference that we can use to pick a color from and to get like a vibe or a expression that's in alignment with our idea. So, you know, we turn back to our resource and, I mean, massing models. Oh, you would just be flooded with endless massing models. Here's another 2D one I didn't see. Anyway, you'll be flooded with endless massing models when it comes to like architectural, like, because that is like our number one kind of language, right? And by the way, guys, you guys should have a like ginormous pins from 4 years of architecture. Like when you find something that really connects with how you illustrate, you should always save it. All right. So let me go back to the beginning. And maybe I can try to search for massing diagrams. Another one. And like this one looks really interesting here. It looks a little bit rendered. And guess what? You guys already have the superpower of deducing how this was produced, right? Because you did that last semester where you remember we analyzed shadows, camera angles, whether it's a soft or hard shadow, whether it's outlined or not outlined. Like when you go through that same analysis, you can determine, oh, do I need to use photorealism, or can I use a program that doesn't have photorealism? And then you link that now to the software. Anybody remember that process from last semester? Buddy?
A little bit.
A little bit. Well, I'm not going to go back for those slides. You can technically watch back those videos again. But we discussed a method that you can look on a graphic and reverse engineer it so you can know what program you would need to employ to create that type of graphic, right? So anyway, we're looking for a theme. Oh, this one is nice. Yeah, I love these subtle colors, and you know, and it even have some arrows too. So yeah, let's grab this one for sure. And let's drop it here. So then, where is it? Come back to me. There we go. Okay, maybe we need to drag it. Yeah, there we go. All right. So for this one, this is the kind of theme I would use. Kind of nice and soft. There are soft shadows here. What does soft shadows mean, guys? Anybody remember?
Sure, isn't the name essentially shadows?
Right, but that means that it has to be rendered, or you're going to have to like, you know, manually use the brush and create it in Photoshop. Like, yeah, soft shadows, they look nice, but they require maintenance, right?
True, but depending on the software, sir, I feel like it's
Exactly. And so I hope some of us experimented with soft shadows. You know, some people went to Lumion, and you know, some people created it on their own. Anyway, but this style looks kind of nice, and there's like an outline with soft shadows. Remember, those of you who experimented with this new thing in SketchUp, I've never used it before, but it's called ambient occlusion or something like that. SketchUp AO or ambient occlusion. Anybody remembers that tool?
Yeah.
Right. But the key takeaway is that your idea that we have here with these big arrows and stuff and what colors go well together, you can grab the same kind of vibe here from this, right? All right. So all right, let's go again. Let's go again. So we're gonna go to idea 3. What time is it? It's 7. Okay, we have some time. All right. Idea 3 now. So let's use something with a chart, right? Because none of these have charts. They're more informational. That, you know, they just have big text and all of that. So let's go with the popular trend again. We're going to use the illustrative method. So I'm just going to copy this because I don't want to sketch it again, right? Beauty, when you sketch on the computer, you can just, like, you know,
The time is 7 p.m.
just copy and go again. There we go. Delete that. Right. Because we still want it to be a massing. We still want to use the same massing idea, but we want to link it. We want to use more of a chart. No, so we could do a remix of this where okay, guys, if we're dealing with percentage, a good pie charts are usually very good with percentages, right? So I'm not going to draw a circle here. I'm just going to cheat and use the, you know, the pre-made circle, right? So we could have this pie chart below, right? And then we could I don't know what it would look like, but we could where's the tool? Is it here? Yeah, here we go. we could use a kind of a, I don't know, oops. I'm angled lean to the screen, so when I draw on the tablet, it kind of going lean. All right, we could use this kind of highlight here. Like, imagine that this is semi-transparent. I'm gonna just do that. So this is like semi-transparent, but green. And somehow, what was it? 70%. So that's like, it's like that. Like that. I'm not sure. You see, I'm not gonna get kind of lost in the graphics. Maybe it just does something like that. I don't know. You know, it just kind of points to it. And then blue. Oh, actually, this can't be 70. This is like the larger section. So this 70% would be like that. Minus this. All right. So that would be 70%. All right. Where all of this here is that, right? You know what would be maybe nicer if we had like an arrow here that points to this. Where is this? You know what? I don't know. My mind is going all over the place. Let me just try not to make my mind go all over the place. And then the other one is kind of like this, so that there's like this blue here that highlights like that, and it kind of just, I don't know, points to this guy here, and then this is highlighted blue, and then this is also highlighted blue. You know what I mean? And something like that. Do you guys kind of see where this is going, this idea of a chart?
Kind of seen it, sir.
Yeah, it's a little rough, but you get the idea. Like, it's just trying to point, it's just trying to use a chart on the building itself, you know. I'm not sure about that idea, but I will jot that down as idea 3, something like that. Yeah. And then we would repeat the same kind of thing. We would try to find something that gives us an idea of what maybe for this one we might go looking for something with charts. So maybe because it's more graphical and less I guess you could say it's kind of mixture between graphical and architectural. We might want to go with start with the graphics first. So maybe a donut would work better actually. So you see, just by looking at this, we start to get some ideas. I need to drag it. There we go. Right. So I don't know if if you guys can kind of see where this is going. I mean, this could be like a donut here, and it could highlight the building in some way. Maybe the building could be a solid mass of this dark color. You know what I mean? And then it could have white outlines like these colors here, you know? What do you guys think? Anybody? Which idea would you vote on? Anybody?
Probably second
That's the
one.
number
Idea
2.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
everybody's
it's less crowded. It's more what would you say? It's kind of simpler, and
okay.
you can just look at it and know what it's saying. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Unlike the others.
Cool. I think each of these have like this because this is a chart here. Like when your eyes glance at a pie chart, even before you even notice the building, like you can, if you have the text integrated with this in a nice way. Like immediately, 70% entrance. It's like this would tell you that information maybe even before you even notice that it's talking about this entrance and that entrance. Because immediately the pie chart just reads with the mind. This now, you kind of have to study it a little bit. I don't know if you guys are already in architecture, so your mind is already tuned to reading this kind of stuff. But like if you were like meeting a client that is more, based on like statistics and that kind of stuff, maybe this would be a little bit too architectural, and maybe you'd want to go more with charts and bar, you'd want to use this kind of vibe. You know what I mean? So, and then this one is more informational, very simplistic as well. But you kind of just reading. It's not really about the diagram, you're just kind of reading. Right? And remember, in my head, guys, I'm already seeing what this could look like. For you, you have to kind of work harder to imagine it. Because this is my ideation. So, when you ideate, you have these visions in your mind. You sketch it out so that you can get it out quickly. And then you build on top of it and be guided with something that is already successful. So I think this color usage is successful here. And I think this one is also successful. So can't go wrong if you follow something that already is successful, right, guys? All right, so since most people vote on idea 2, let's look on that one. All right. So now that we have the idea, which we start to jump into what resources do you need? What software you're going to use? Do you need icons? This don't really have icons. I mean, they have these arrows, so we could probably draw these arrows, right? This one here have charts, so maybe you would use the chart feature in Illustrator, or maybe you would create this chart in Photoshop and save it as a PDF, and so when you look at this, you already know some of the resources that you're going to need. You're going to need a model. You already have the model. So let's use this one here. So we have the model here, and I mean, if I put these two things kind of side by side, all right? Hey, it's not a bad sketch. I think I kind of catch it a little bit, don't it? Okay, so what is the main difference with this here? How do I get this to look like that? Any ideas from Darren? Any ideas, Darren? What do you think I can do next?
No idea, sir.
No idea. I mean, you have the model already, and we have the idea, and we have a reference kind of image here. Anybody else want to? What about Brittany? What do you think? Where do we go from here? I mean, we already have direction, so we have a little sketch here. This is what we want to accomplish.
So I think you just turn the model into a mass.
Ah, exactly. I was hoping you'd say the word simplify, but same thing. Exactly. We need this model to be a mass, and there's different ways that you can do that, and you can kind of determine how you want it to be. Actually, I think I'm going to work with it this way, because you have this big door here, and I think, because it just happens to be a door here. I don't really have an entrance here because it's on the other side. Oh, maybe I can just flip it. I can just pretend that I'm talking about this and that. Yeah, I think that works out just fine. So I need to simplify. And this is what most of you are going to end up spending most of your time doing. Not adding details, but subtracting details, because you are indeed doing a massing. So it's all about deleting. So like most of these stuff inside here, I try to organize them so that you can. Let's use a different display mode like this one. Yeah, I can see them better now. Are these on layers? I don't think so. Crap. Because it's an export from Mac, so everything is probably just like floating around. Right? Really, I just want these walls. I don't even need the window. So maybe instead of deleting, I can just select these. There we go. Yeah, I think that's good. And let's copy that. What did I leave? Oh, I left the roof. I think that's all I need. Yeah, I just need a roof. Okay, cool. I can do I have this cool plugin that let me undo selections in SketchUp. So, because normally when you undo, you just undo the thing, but you can undo selections, right? Pretty cool, right? So, anyway. So, yeah, I'm just going to copy that. All right, this is the massing. Even the massing is looking a little bit extra, you know? So maybe, well, this opening here is good, but because we're exaggerating these two openings, maybe I don't need this opening here, right? So, oh yeah, this is a solid. By the way, guys, this is going to read as solids, so they're not going to extrude and all of that nice stuff. So you're going to have to just kind of maybe move stuff around. Yeah, I think that's good. Okay, I don't need this entrance here, so I have to grab this one as well. Yeah, this one. Okay, I don't need this window. It's good. This kind of double up. That's all right. So this is one entrance here. This is another entrance here. Let's copy the ground, I think. Just so we can have a base. I'm gonna just use, yeah, copy it on the Z. Yeah. All right, cool. All right. All right, so I'm not worried about the back because I'm gonna do a view like this. So move you out here, out of the way. All right, so let's mess with the styles a little bit. Everybody remember styles, right? Let me dot this to the right hand side so you guys can see what I'm doing. We don't need all these lines. Well, firstly, we can just change everything to black and white. So we can just choose a style. Let's see. Let's go here. Let's go home. Let's go. Default styles. Nope. 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 Okay. All right. And then I'm going to turn off edges. Oh, crap. I can't turn off edges. Profiles, turn off edges. All right, this is better. So I can just leave the profiles. Unfortunately, by the way, guys, in SketchUp, you can actually hide edges. So I can click on this edge. Can I? Come on. Yes, I can click on this edge here and just hide that edge. So it's no longer there, right? So you don't have to spend time like doing a super neat model. You can literally just click on these edges and hide them. All right. This one is a little funny. Oh, I'm actually seeing inside. Okay. All right, cool. I don't need this. line, I think. This one is going to be tricky because if I hide this, I also have to hide the one from this as well. So I have to hide both. There we go. Yeah. All right. Oh, this in the background is throwing me off a little bit. So yeah. All right. I don't know. What do you think, guys?
Sir, whatever it is, just fix it in Illustrator. That would is what I would do.
Actually, I mean, I would carry this to illustrate because I didn't want. I mean, less battle to. It's less of a battle in Illustrator when you kind of deal with some of these from SketchUp. So let me see. If I show the edges, then these other guys are going to come into play here. I mean, you can go in and hide these edges as well. Do I need to show this double line at the top? I don't know. I don't think so. I think I can get away with that. I need to get rid of this line as well. I could just, okay, let me leave some for Illustrator because you can do more in Illustrator. So I would definitely go from here because I want to put like an arrow here. That was it plan, right? To put an arrow here and then put another arrow here. This one is weird because I have two arrows going in the same direction. Kind of changes up my plan. I wanted another arrow going this way. I might just do that even though it doesn't look that way. Then the other thing, go ahead.
So we're allowed to do that? Like I'm clarifying. So let's say something isn't in a position and I want a window or something. Am I allowed to like change the model to fit whatever infographic I'm trying to train?
Yeah, man, that'll give you a little bit of freedom. I mean, within reason. I mean, the building should still look like this. But yeah, you can do, because you're going to have to simplify the building. And the point of this exercise is not necessarily accuracy in terms, I mean, when you're working on your project and you have to do an infographic for it, then obviously if the entrance of the building is here, then you can't just fake it for the, for the infographic. But for this purpose, I mean, sure, you can make it up. Remove a window if it's not there. Add a big hole for a door if it's not there. Some of them talk about facade. You can just edit a facade and pretend that you're talking about this facade. The main gist is that I just want you to kind of experiment with how you would simplify the building, right? I think it's safe to say that nobody should be doing everything in the 3D program. Right, you should just kind of carry it into whatever program you're using. I recommend Illustrator. If you want to use Photoshop, it's up to you. All right, most people are going to be doing a lot of arrows, graphs, charts, dash lines, because infographic is mainly illustrative. So it's not really about shadows and soft shadows and photorealism and that kind of stuff. It's so there would be less about pixels and more about vectors. All right, so let's say I wanted to grab this, then I can just export this view as a 2D graphic. Just grab Illustrator as well. So 2D graphic, and let's go to the desktop here, and I will just say model massing. There you go. In terms of colors and that stuff, I would say don't do it in the 3D programs. If you're using Revit or you're using SketchUp or you what else are you guys using for 3D programs? I don't know. ArchiCAD. I mean, you can, I would say don't put the colors until you go into the program that you're putting everything together in, right? Because remember, in most cases, the infographic that you're doing is even going to fit on a sheet. Maybe it goes in a little corner of your sheet, Let me search for let me see if I can find an example of a sheet. Okay. I'm sorry, I'm actually looking on my other tab. Okay, let me show you some stuff. Right. I'm just looking at these. Okay, no, that's too busy. Let's see. I'm trying to just grab an example of a sheet. This is yeah. Too busy. Actually, cool. All right, I'll just grab that one. This one is fine. All right. Let's put that down and grab this over. Oh, let's go to here. All right, there you go. Right. So imagine that this was your sheet design. You know, you would be sticking it in the corner or somewhere, you know. So it would need to match with whatever your overall sheet is, whatever is happening on your sheet. So that's why I'm saying that some of these colors, you would maybe just wait until you're going to the actual editing program. All right, so if I jump into Illustrator now, all right, dock this up here, and artboards, I don't need this, do I? Let me just dock this down here. Yeah, there we go. All right, let's see, this was on my desktop, so let's grab it from the desktop and drag it here. There we go. So we have these nice lines. Of course, if we save as a PDF from SketchUp, what happened? Right, we can retain the vector information. Come on, there we go. There we go. Then we can just explode. I can embed, and then ungroup, and then release. And then yeah, there we go. So now we can mess with these lines. So now we can even delete the lines that we don't want. Right? So maybe we didn't want those lines. Actually, some extra ones came over that weren't in SketchUp. So anyway, there we go. All right, but this would be much harder if I didn't start to do it from SketchUp. You know, I would have just too much information to remove, right? All right, so we have our mass in there. Maybe this is a little too much here. Let me take these off like that. Yeah, let me just leave that. All right, cool. All right, then we had this arrow business that was here. Let's look back on the concept and let's look on the colors. So let me see, it was this idea here. We love these colors, and you know, this interesting outline, this, you know, minus the soft shadows. We're not going to put the soft shadows, or, you know, because it's mainly a diagram. So we wanted to put this in a color and then match that with the arrow, you know, but use these colors instead. Actually, maybe this is a bad example because this only has 2 colors. I don't know. Let's see if we can make it work. All right, so put this over here. I'm gonna grab this. Put this over here. There we go. All right. Can you guys see the screen okay? It might be a little small.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, so we want to do that arrow idea. Let me just put it here. Now, pretty much we can't follow this to the T, obviously, because this was just a chicken scratch sketch. So now we're doing the actual thing here. So now is where we start to use up the technology of whatever program we're using. So this is Illustrator, so we do have, I'm just realizing something. This is perspective. I think I want it to be orthographic because I think orthographic go nicer with diagrams than perspective. So I'm gonna jump back in SketchUp, and I guess you guys already know how to do this. You go to camera, you go to parallel projection. Yeah, I think I want to use parallel projection. It's a little more nicer for a diagram, I think. Let me see. So file, export as 2D graphic, and we're gonna call this model massing parallel. There we go. All right, so let's put this to the side. We can always come back to this if we don't like how it looks. And let's grab this one here. There we go. Yeah. I don't know. What do you think, guys? I think the parallel is nicer for diagrams. Anybody agree? Anybody disagree?
Sure.
All right. Is neither here nor there.
Kind of look funny, but
Yeah, it does look funny. Yeah, that's
it's-
always the case. And then I think it's the shape of this building making it also look extra funny. You know? Because it has this weird shape here. You know what? Let me just get rid of that because I can break the rules because I'm showing you an example, right? All right, cool. Yeah, so that's it there. Great. Oh, let me get rid of these lines here. And this one and that one. Yeah, that's much better. This one here looks so weird. Let me just get rid of that too. And let me get rid of that. Yeah. Should I get rid of this? Yeah. Yeah, that's better. Real simple. All right, so now I want to do these arrows. But I also want to do it according to these colors. So I am going to grab this and stick it here. Oops. Can I do that? I hope so. Copy and paste. No, I can't. Oh man. Okay. All right. So download. Yeah, lovely. And let's download it to my desktop. There we go. Let's drag it over here. Yep. Good. So now I have my reference that I can use. Also, I could grab my idea here as well. I'll just do a screenshot. Just grab it there. And I'll just stick it right there in Illustrator. And now I can just work in Illustrator alone, right? Okay, so right away, what you can do is, who remembers live paint bucket? Anybody remember that feature from DDM days?
yes, sir.
Right, so we can just select all of this and we can search for it here. The shortcut is Control K, but it is a secondary to which one of these buttons now? You know what? I don't remember. Oh, here it is. Right. This is what it looks like. So we can turn this into a live paint group and then we can paint. So what we can do is we can just grab the color here and drop it on here. But I don't think we want to do that. I think we want to maybe put it here and maybe here. Yeah, I think. I don't know yet. Because no, we kind of making this up as we go along. Maybe I want these outer lines, like these lines here. Just select these lines, these outer lines. Oh crap, I have to hold shift. Yeah, I have to hold shift. I'm selecting these outer lines. This one too. And maybe this one. I'm gonna copy it and paste it. Oh crap, it's probably not coming out too well, but anyway, and group it. All right, so those are the lines. I should have copied more. Okay, let's do that again. Let's grab these outer lines here. Oh, there are multiple of them, that's why. Okay, so I grab those. I grab this and that. I grab all of this. And I'll grab this one and that one and that one and that one. I'm holding shift to select these lines. And this one. Oh, I know why. Okay, I can't do it like that. I have to use the lasso tool, right? And I have to add to the selection every time. There we go. Add. Yes, it's working now. So I'm selecting all of these lines, preferably the outer lines. I'm holding shift every time I select them.
I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah, you can totally.
Yeah.
Just keep adding to the selection. All right. And there we go. Oh, here's another piece here. Come on. I think, yeah, I got it. All right. So then I'm going to copy this. I didn't get all of them, but I'm trying to do this quickly. And then I'm going to paste it. Okay, there we go with those lines and group it. All right, so this is what I have. I have these lines like that. So these lines now, I'm just going to make it really thick by using my stroke commands. Here we go. I'm going to increase the thickness and I'm going to change the color to this kind of brown color, which I can barely see. But let's see if we can grab that brown color. That, yeah. Right. Oops. Right. So there is that brown color. I think it needs to be more deeper. So like that. There we go. Right. So basically you just want to grab the outline like what you have here. Right. And then the arrows can be this deep brown that we have here. Now for the arrows, we could attempt to draw the arrows as is, or we could use that 3D tool we were experimenting with last time. But you know what I would do? I would just, let's see if this works. I can just use a regular arrow. I don't think Illustrator has an arrow. Oh, yes, it does. You can get them from symbols, I think. So if you turn on your
Arrows,
symbol, yeah, arrows, not the line arrows. Actually, thank you for saying that. Why not just use a line arrow? Right. So let's draw a line and go to my stroke settings and just add an arrow to the end. I think which one? How about this one? This is my favorite one here. And let's make it really big. Oops. Make the line really big. There we go. Of course, this is not exactly the arrow that we want, but we can expand it, which is the same as saying explode, right? So we just turn it into lines alone, right? Who remembers DDM? Right, so explode, expand, here we go. All right. I don't know if this will work. Let's see if it will. Okay, how about we just okay. Oh, right, sorry, something popped up on the screen. There we go. And let's use our pen tool and put a point there. So just mix that in. What does this need? It's too fat. Maybe it needs to be more slim. I think the whole thing needs to be fatter, so I'm just going to grab these lines here. Let's make these parallel. I don't know. Kind of like the arrows that I had in. Yeah, what do you say?
First thing you had in mind work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the. So let me go for the. Come on. There we go. The normal arrow, like this one. Yeah. But it's just that the end needs to be thicker. So we're going to make that.
So you can change the inside by itself.
Right. That is exactly what we're going to do. I think I want it to be this fatter one. Yeah, that's better. And oops. Actually, it's good. Okay. All right. So the idea is, so I don't like this arrow. I'm just going to put it over here. So I want to get this arrow, but I want to get it into like a nice perspective kind of view. I think it needs to be wider. Yeah.
Yes.
Maybe something like this. Yeah. But of course it needs to be angled like the perspective. So this is where I would go for my appearance panel. Right. And then I could add that effect called distort, free distort, and that allows you to distort things freely. You know, you can, and if I choose OK, then it looks like that. So, but let's I don't think I want this to remain an arrow, but I can't make up my mind just yet. So let's turn this around. There we go. And there we go. So obviously this needs to be distorted. So now I would go and I would add the distort effect. And this might be a little weird to get at first. So I think this needs to be like that. I think something like that. Put this over here. I hate this. I wish they would come up with a new version of this, because this feels so like caveman style. Oh wow. Okay. All right. Let's expand this. Yeah. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to turn it straight. And we're going to just expand it with using expand appearance. Expand. again. There we go. So now this is just a box and a triangle. All right. So now let's see if we can do that again with the distort. There we go. And we just need to distort it so it looks like it's going there. Now the reason you could just draw this directly as vector, like actually just draw an arrow as vector, but the reason why you want to use this tool is, there we go. If I wanted to edit this arrow, I can edit it when it's straight, which makes it much easier to edit. So, you know, if I wanted to like add a point here and then do something like that, you know, it will work out the distortion for me no matter how I edit it. So that's why I rather to use the distort to get this arrow like that. So I'm just going to take a shortcut and just pretend that this was the other entrance. Right? Actually, the other entrance went like this. So anyway, I'm just going to do that. And then we had the same thing with the text, right? So we had the text in our little plan here. You know what? Let's just do it the way that we had it in the sketch. There we go. So I'm going to go to distort, and this time I'm going to reset it, and I'm going to distort it going this way. Right? To use the distort command, you just need to know perspective, and let me see, that was what, second year, right, guys? Right, guys? Second year, right? All right. Come on. These dots are so annoying to click on, so I can give you that heads up from now. All right, there we go. So this was the other entrance here. It's a little off. It's not gonna be perfect, but okay. Needs to go up more. Yeah, I think something like that. All right, and then well, let's save just in case the computer decides to crash and we don't lose our work. So I'm going to say idea 2. Demo. Save it to the desktop. Okay. All right, cool. We didn't in our sample text, we didn't really have an example of how they use fonts. That would have been a good thing. Actually, this here looks like it's a writing. I'm not sure, but we would use the same distort for the text. So what we said, 70% here. Actually, I'm even having better ideas. Check this out, guys. We could put a rectangle here like this, and we would use our who remembers color guide. We can choose a lighter color of that color, maybe like a lighter fill color like that. Why is it not changing? Oh, sorry, my bad. Here we go. So we can use a lighter color like that, and let's attach this like so. I don't know, I'm kind of going off on a limb here, guys, because I just kind of spot this opportunity just now. Not sure if it will work out nicely. Do you guys see the direction we're going in? Anybody?
Yes, sir.
Right. And then we can put the 70%. The reason why you would choose a sample with text is that, like, when I just put text here, I have to figure out what font do I use, what color do I use. But whenever you choose a reference picture, you just look at what the reference have, and if it has like impact or more of a skinny font, like Futara, I don't remember or Centric Gothic, then you could just follow that and you would be good to go. But when you don't have a reference, you have to kind of decide, how can I do this? What font should it be? Should it be one of these? So anyway, I'm just going to go with Centric Gothic. Can't go wrong with Centric Gothic. Anybody here is a Centric Gothic fan? Anybody? No Centric Gothic fans?
No.
Oh man, don't tell me that you like Comic Sans. Oh, you don't know what name Comic Sans? Anybody know that font?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So if you know that font, you'd know that was totally a joke, right? So anyway, so let's use the 3D start again. Now we're going to just try and start this thing. Come on. Is this correct? I think. This tool is so
Come
old.
again, sir.
Yeah, I mean, I wish. Where is the live preview, Adobe? Come on, man. Come on. Anyway, yeah, that's good. And then maybe we can have the text, and this is where your graphic elements of designs, principles of designs come in. So you can't just plop things anywhere. So for example, what I would do in this case is I would maybe put a little line here, and then I would put some information, maybe not too much, because if it's going to go on a sheet, oh, this thing is always making me type. And the good thing about this is that I can just copy the 3D start from this and apply it here by did I forget how to do that? Oh my lord. Oh yeah, you just apply it back, and in the last settings it doesn't. Oh man. Okay, of course I can just copy this and then put the text in there, so that works. I can just copy this text and just drop it in here, and there you go. There we go. I mean, there's still some things that are lean, but you get the idea, guys, right? But you see, like if this had like a big pie chart here, I think it would read a little better. It's what now? It's almost 8 o'clock. I mean, I think you get the general gist, guys, of where we're going, right? And you just have to remember the steps, right? This is perhaps the most important thing. You kind of come up with this, and then it evolves. So that, we didn't build it exactly like this. We kind of had new ideas and we tried them out. But definitely the color scheme and the inspiration came from this. Oh, and this little thing here that would put with the 10 a.m. I mean, that would be just a line. And maybe this is black, or maybe it's the same color as this. So let's grab the same color. And then what we do is at the end of this, we can use our stroke command and put a dot on the end, maybe one of these dots here. On the other end, let's flip it. There we go. And we just put our little box here. There we go. And we put our text, which I'm gonna go with that. What did we put in here again? We were saying it would be 10 a.m. So this, I think it was 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. And of course, principle of design, guys, this would be an opposite color.
Sir, where did you get the dot?
Where did I get it to be the color?
No, the dot at the bottom.
Oh, right. So just like how we chose arrows, if you scroll down a little more, you get dots. And squares.
Okay.
And, yeah. Right. So, you know, and guess what, guys? This kind of stuff, you're not looking for backgrounds with clouds and gradients, and it's not a poster. Usually this kind of graphics is just you're using the white of the page and that kind of stuff. If you remember when we grab our idea, right? So for example, where did we? Let me try and find. Is it this? No. Okay, it's on the mirror board. So remember we looked on, here we go. So if this is your sheet here, and oh, I can't copy this, I gotta download it. Yeah, gotta download it. There we go. Right. Put this over here. If this was our sheet here, then we would be just dropping this on our sheet over here. So this white. So I'm just going to kind of imagine that these didn't exist. There we go. And you put your graphic on your sheet, right? And the idea is that let's copy it and let's paste it. There we go. Because it's created in an Illustrator program, you know, you get all your transparencies because this is all vector, and this sits somewhere on your sheet. And the idea is that whenever you're presenting, you know, these are here. Instead of having that, instead of saying this or having it as text, saying this, right, here we go. Or maybe even if you have that text on your presentation, like immediately when you see this, you get it. You know that, okay, so this 70% of people enter here between this time. It's like immediate, right? So this is the gist of what I wanted to show you for our working session today, right? You know, kind of come up with an idea. You don't have to work out the intricacies of it. What kind of arrow is it? What font it is? What color it is? Just come up with the general idea. Just like how you saw we come up with these ideas earlier. Come up with the idea. Choose a reference that gives you an idea of color and text and, you know, a general kind of feel for what you want to achieve. And when you have these two things, then you go ahead and jump in the software and try and make it happen. All right, guys, any questions based on our little class today?
Well, sir, is there a specific sheet size that you're looking for, or it can be, you know, as big or as small as well?
The same as before. On the handout, it's 11 by 17. The trick is, remember that in you have two. Everybody has two. So this would be one of them, right? This that I created in Illustrator would be one, but here it is, guys. If you can manage to do this, let's say that I was also doing the one that says, okay, this one that says the Vitro solar band 60 glass using this building has a solar heat coefficient of this and a shading coefficient of that. I could just in Illustrator also let me do it over here. I could just grab this and I could label this window here as the, you know, solar ban, right? And this one diagram takes care of doing both. And this is what I was trying to explain to you in the last class. You're not doing two different diagrams, you know. You're finding a way to layer information on the same diagram, so that when you're reading the diagram, all of those explanations, you can just read it visually. All right, do you guys understand?
Yes, sir.
All right, cool. So I hope this little demo helped you out. As usual, I'll put the class recordings there so you guys can check it out. The last hour that's left in the class, I'm suggesting that you guys just come up with your initial idea, right? You don't have to start it because, you know, next week you're going to start think about study tour and all of these things. Just come up with this and let it simmer, right? So that when you come back to this assignment now, you already had your idea, and then it's all about, you know, going to the model and reducing the details or tracing it over and exporting it. Yeah, you can work out that later, but just come up with the ideas now. So see if you guys can do that. And what you guys are going to do for me is the same thing you did with the first class activity, where you submitted, no, it was the second class activity, where you submitted your idea, right? You did it in the OneNote notebook, and then you just sent me the link. It's the very same step that you guys are going to do. So for this class activity, which is the architectural infographic, you're simply going to, when you ideate and you come up with your little sketch or your idea of what you want the infographic to be, send me a link to the OneNote book and the page, just like what you did before. All right, and that will take care of the class activity for today. All right, so you're going to do that for me in the next 1 hour that we have left for class. All right, guys, and collect your free class activity points.
So we have 1 hour to do this?
It's 8 p.m.
Yeah, you don't have one. You have 1 hour.
Calendar for tomorrow.
You have 1 hour to come up with this. You don't think you can
Our
do it?
idea?
Yeah, just the idea, not the actual infographic, just the idea.
I know, sir.
And when you come up with the idea and the sample or whatever inspires you to do the infographic, paste it in your OneNote notebook and send me that link. All right, everybody understand what to do?
So now we just need like just a small idea, and then as
Yeah.
we add to the notebook.
Yeah, that's a small idea.
Okay, okay.
Right, that's all. And to collect your class activity for today, you need to just remember to submit it for today. All right?
Sir,
Okay, all right.
say if you don't have a definite idea and we just sketch something, can we revise it after?
Yeah, man. But we're gonna do the same kind of thing with, well, after today's class, when you guys come back from study tour, we're going to go into cinematography. So we tell you what, we can discuss it in maybe like the lecture class. or in between the lecture or the practical, because you guys will have 2 weeks again. But I know that it's going to be tricky to do it during study tour. So this study tour time, I'm not counting it in there. All right. So when you come back from study tour, if it is that you want me to look at an idea or or have a conversation about it, we can always do that for the next class that's upcoming. All right. All right. But when you guys get back, we won't be doing infographic anymore. We're going to cinematography, right? Which is going to be really cool. We make some movies and watch some more movies. All right.
Another question, sir. Do we need to put a picture of like the reference or precedent image?
Yeah, that would be good. I mean, if that stuff doesn't work for you, then fine. But I would recommend it. Some persons don't work with a reference because you just have the vision in your head and it's clear, and you just execute. So all I want to see is evidence that you have ideated, and that is really what you get the class activity mark for. Right? So if even if you don't have a picture that you can as a reference, no matter. Show me something. All right, and then we can discuss it like in the other class. All right, Carl. Most of this class was just kind of going through this stuff. All right. Any more questions, guys? Nope. All right. Well, it looks like that's going to be it for today. All right. So to ensure that you guys go on study tour, I'm going to come prepared to have class next week. But then we won't because you'll be gone on study tour. You understand the math? Right?
The reverse psychology, yes, sir.
Yeah, reverse psychology. That's how we're going to do it. Because the last 2 times I was just like, oh, no class today. And then, whoa, we have class. All right. So I will see you next week for quote unquote class. All right.
Question,
All right,
sir.
Uh-huh.
Yes, sir. What we call this notebook?
It's the same
for this
notebook,
class?
Oh, that's call it
the page
whatever.
or
No, well, the notebook has a name. You can call it Advanced Computing 2 notebook, AC2 notebook, whatever you want to call it. It's totally up to you.
Yes.
But it's the same notebook that ideally you should be using. You're not creating a whole new OneNote, and it's the same one that you used last class. All right, because we have a couple activities coming up where you're just going to add a page to the notebook, and then you submit the link to that page, and that is your class activity. So, yeah. All right.
Yes, sir.
All right. Okay. So, I guess I will see you guys, quote unquote, next week. Right? Or next 2 weeks. We'll see how it goes. All right. Have a good rest of the week.
You
and
too,
take
sir.
care. All right.
Bye.
All right. Take it easy.